Alright, so in this video, we can finally set up and do our application for our Google local service ads now that we have our requirements out of the way. Now that we set up our Google My Business, you've got a good amount of reviews, at least a good amount of reviews to build off of in the future. You always want to be continually improving on those reviews, getting more reviews from every customer you get. But once you have those foundations, then it's good to fill out the Google LSA application. So just make sure you're on the same email as you configure your Google My Business with, just to make sure everything connects and just goes more fluidly. So you can search Google LSA ads on Google and just click on the first link, or we'll also have a link down below this video that will take you to this landing page. You'll notice a few things on the landing page. So they do have a support phone number, which is pretty useful because it's more accessible than something like Facebook, where they don't have like a phone number for just people to call plastered on their website. So it is a bit more accessible there. And something with Google LSA is that it's not as plug and play where like you can add us to their system and we just set up everything for you, like they do with Facebook. So it does deal with a little more confidential information. So that's why we can't do it entirely done for you. And if you need something like deep within Google LSA, I do encourage you to reach out to their support via their phone number here. They are pretty good and responsive there. So once you're ready, then you'll just click Get Started on the landing page, and then it'll ask you some basic info. So it's going to ask you if you're eligible depending on your location. So I'll just type in location, Pittsburgh zip code, and then job category, whatever you're working in, you'll just select that. I'll do a landscaper for this example, but it could be anything. Could be a realtor, could be just a home services contractor of any kind. Not all areas are serviced by Google LSA. A lot of areas are, but if you're in a super rural area for some reason that Google has not yet rolled out Google LSA to, then that's okay. I encourage you to type a nearby zip code of a place that is maybe a little bit bigger. If you can service there, even if you can't service there, it's still likely you're going to get people in your local area who will just come across this ad because it's close enough, because maybe they don't have enough results, and then Google just expands and shows this to more people. You are still likely to get some people in your local area to see your ad, even if you type it in a zip code that's not exactly where you are. So if you are in one of those rural areas that are not directly eligible, still, it is worth it. It is better than not using it at all. It's a lot more useful to actually have a Google LSA listing up than to just not have it at all because it's not eligible in your exact location. So it'll allow you to expand your sphere of influence in your business as well, which can also be another good thing. And even if you can't service some of the leads that are in like a bigger zip code, you can refer out these leads, which is something you can't do as well with Facebook leads or Google PPC, where the leads aren't worth the time for the people you're referring them out to. Not that they're not worth it in general, but just that they require a bit more nurturing. These leads are more easily referable. They're pretty warm. They're pretty hot, that are actually looking for these specific services. So they're easy to refer out. So once you set that up, you just check your eligibility. And then it'll take you to fill out your business info. So hit Get Started, and then you just type in all your business information. Make this as accurate as possible. Make this as true to your Google My Business as possible, so you're more likely to get submit this and get reviewed faster and approved on Google LSA. You don't want them thinking, why is this different than Google My Business? This seems weird. You want everything to be congruent and accurate. So I'm not going to currently register a business on Google LSA, so I'll go and just show you the rest of this on this document here. So then it'll ask you a few other details, such as your weekly budget, your business hours, your service areas, and your job types. So the more accessible you are, the better. For example, if you set business hours to 24/7, most people will not call you at night, but it just makes it's more eye-catching on the Google LSA listing. So the more accessible, the better. And then service areas can be as broad as possible. It gets you in front of more people. Again, Google doesn't exactly show people in the exact location. I'll get to that in a minute, but like if you're in a nearby location and your Google LSA is not exactly there, it can still like cross-reference and show different people who are nearby. So if you expand your service area a little bit, that can get you in front of more people. So job types, and then just keep everything on, everything you can do, unless there's something you legally can't do in your state, something you're not licensed to do, then you obviously wouldn't check that. But again, the more accessible, the better. And then this applies to budget too. Bigger budgets usually end up yielding better results and rankings. It's good to get out of your comfort zone here because you're paying per qualified lead that is tracked by the conversations on Google. They track your phone calls, they track your text conversations with these leads. So if you're not happy, if there's a lead they charged you for that you're like, hey, this wasn't actually a good lead, they're actually not serious about this, then you can dispute it through Google, and most times they will refund you the money because they have all the records right there. So then after this, you will want to add your license and insurance details and go through a background check on Google LSA, and then it will pop up like this. And then once leads start coming in, they will be on this dashboard in this in your home services inbox. So leads will look like this. It'll have different people, their job type, location, time frame, and yeah, that's what the dashboard looks like. So then I just want to end this video by showing just a quick example of Google LSA results and what I'm talking about, some of the things I've covered in this video. So reviews. Of course, reviews are crucial. People with a lot of reviews will rank a lot better on Google, and usually you see people with a lot of reviews at the top of the search results. Again, you can start with a few reviews. There's some people with 4 reviews on here, but make sure they're good reviews. Make sure you're being at least highly rated before you go on Google LSA. But it's really better to build that up and up, and really you want to be shooting for those 100, 200, 300 reviews, just asking every single customer, making sure there's a way that they can actually fill out a review for you. Whether that's directly telling them, or you have some other system that takes care of that for you, like putting it on a business card or putting it on your website or something like that, that ensures you're getting a lot of Google reviews. That will definitely help your Google LSA listings. Then as you can see, I'm searching Pittsburgh, PA, but not everyone is in this exact area. So like you can see like Boardman, if you look over here, I went to Google Maps and you can see Boardman is 2 hours and 25 minutes away from Pittsburgh. Now, I'm not saying you have to do your Google LSA hours away from where you are, but I'm just saying that it's not a huge deal if your exact area isn't eligible or serviced. You can still, rank in the listings for Google LSA. And that also shows us there's not a ton of competition in Pittsburgh if there's people that are showing up, fairly early on in the search results that are not exactly in Pittsburgh, they're hours away. So if you're actually directly in Pittsburgh, you put your listing up here, you might have a better shot of actually getting to the top. So that was just a quick overview of Google LSA ads and how to set them up. So I hope this series was valuable. I believe we have one more video in the series before we, close this off, but hope this was valuable, and I will see you in the next video.